Olympic gold medalist and longtime professional wrestler Mark Henry. For the majority of his career, he wrestled in WWE, and more recently, he was wrestling in AEW. I don't know if he's still wrestling in AEW or not. I'll have to fact check that one. But for the duration of his career, Mark Henry wrestled in World Wrestling Entertainment. Tyrone Bowman Live. Welcome to the program. I want to talk about something here. According to CageSide Seats, the headline says Mark Henry knows exactly why Hulk Hogan was loudly booed on WWE Raw's Netflix debut. Now, in all fairness, I want to say this. Hogan did a marvelous job as a sports wrestler slash entertainer. You know, during that heyday, during that time, you had Ric Flair, Dusty Rhodes, down in the NWA, they carried it, and Ric Flair and the Four Horsemen, and your Dusty Rhodes with his charisma, etc. And you had Hogan up on this end, carrying the banner for the WWE, and everywhere you went, Hulkamania was running wild, and blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Now, all that is passe. That's behind us now. So let's fast forward. In a recent conversation, as reported by WWE.com, and I have to put that inside the title as well. So this article was written by Kane A. Knight for CageSide Seats. So I'm quoting him, quote, "One of the big stories coming out of Raw's Netflix debut this week was the way Hulk Hogan was loudly booed by the live audience in Los Angeles. This has been followed by rumors that many people in WWE aren't happy and the company may reconsider how to use Hogan in its content going forward. Well, some people are just past their prime. When your prime is over, it's over. Let it go. Seriously, like Ric Flair, his prime is over. Let it go." TMZ asked WWE Hall of Famer Mark Henry if he was surprised by Hogan's rough reception on Raw. Henry was not shocked at all because Hogan has never tried to fix things after his racist triad was caught on a sex tape that surfaced in 2015. Quote, this is Mark Henry speaking. "Anytime that you consider the Mount Rushmore and the top 10 of wrestling all time, Hogan is always going to be in that top 10, but right now, with the social media climate and the thing that he said and done, and his lack of effort to try to fix it, people are going to come down on him." Mark Henry has a point. For those of you watching, welcome to Tyrone Bowman Live. Would you kindly subscribe to the channel for me while you're watching? Thanks a lot. Now check this out. Henry continues to talk during the interview. "I never had an issue with him before I heard all of the stuff. And even then, I believe in giving second chances. Me too. Anybody that knows me knows that I'm a fix-it person. I'm not going to dwell on the negative. I'm not going to talk about the past. We're going forward, and he never wanted to go forward and fix it. So that's what happens when you think that everything's going to go away. It's not going to go away." Mark Henry, to his credit, he tried to work with Hogan. He tried to get him to correct the things that he said about black people, but Hogan did not want to do it. And that fake press conference that they had on ABC News, whatever channel it was, that was just a sham to try to save face, because hundreds of millions of dollars were being, what's up, Mexican warrior? Hundreds of millions of dollars were being lost. So Henry continues to say he thinks it's going to go away. That's not going to make it's not going to be that dark cloud over his career. You know, I offered to say, hey, let's do a tour of the black colleges, and whatever, Mark, and explain what happened. He didn't want to do that. Forget touring the black colleges. That's quote, close quote. How about you just be a man and open up your mouth and say, I effed up. I said crap I shouldn't have said. I thought, I spewed this garbage out of my mouth, and you know what? I was wrong. That's it. People can respect somebody if they own up to their wrong. That's the bottom line. Everybody screws up in life. We all screw up. I don't care who we are. Ain't nobody perfect on this world. In this world, everybody screws up. We all say ish out of our mouths that we shouldn't say. We all do things that we shouldn't do. We all are a bunch of mutts when it comes to life. But it's how you handle the mishaps. It's how you handle the blank ups. It's how you handle the wrong stuff that you say out of your mouth. If I sound like a preacher, I don't care. Whatever. Now, plenty of wrestlers in the WWE locker room didn't buy Hogan's thin apology to them in 2018 about his racist statements. It took him 3 years to even mutter a word out of his mouth in the locker room. Based on what Titus O'Neil, and I still think Titus O'Neil got a raw deal in WWE. There's no way in the world he should just be a WWE ambassador. He should have been a heavyweight champion many times over. And that's the bottom line. If you're good, you're good. If you got the talent, if you got the gifting, if you got the gift to gab, if you have great charisma on air, I don't care what color you are, what nationality you are. Put the belt on the man. Put the belt on the women. That's why Tito Santana left the World Wrestling Federation over 20 years ago, and he's not a teacher because he couldn't take the racism anymore. And I don't blame him for leaving. So based on what Titus O'Neil had to say about it at the time, it sounds like Hogan was apologizing more for being caught on tape than for the actual hateful words that came out of his mouth. Hogan later said that any wrestlers who didn't accept his apology don't understand the brotherhood of wrestling. What brotherhood? What brotherhood are you talking about? He was never a brother to any of the black brothers in the wrestling business. Never. I've searched this man's life through and through. He never spoke up for civil rights. He never spoke against racial injustice. He never spoke against bigotry. He was only concerned about how much money he could make and screw everybody else. Tone-deaf statements like that speak to Henry's assertion that Hogan isn't interested in fixing things. In addition to Hogan being a self-admitted racist, he's also been very public this year in his political support for Donald Trump. That was last year. This led to even more racism from Hulk Hogan during the summer, all of which could have been a factor as well in the boos he received on Raw. From where I'm sitting, Hogan obviously deserves all the boos that he got on Monday Night Raw, but we'll have to wait and see if it has any effect on WWE's love affair with the guy. That is quote, close quote. Well, I don't have to wait and see because I already made my decision. I really don't care what the WWE does. They can be the juggernaut of all sports. They can have billions and billions and billions of dollars. But remember this, all money ain't good money. Never surrender.